There'll be some growing pains because this is all brand new to me as well as Corey and Max. So definitely going to be some trial and error for sure. But as I said before, we are part of Roll to Heal, which is a nonprofit organization. And basically, what we're going to do today is we're going to explain who we are, what our goal is, give a little information on what Roll to Heal is, and then we're also going to kind of give you a insight as to what our plan is for this stream slash podcast. We're gonna do our best to be as informative as possible, and anyone who is participating and watching online, if you want to ask questions, by all means, please do. The whole point of this is to build a community and raise awareness on every situation. So, what we're going to do is we're going to briefly introduce ourselves, and then we will go into other topics, such as introduce our president, who unfortunately cannot be with us tonight. Had a prior schedule taking him out of town.
I say, to be fair, we told him not to.
We did tell him not to, yes. So we will try and get him on next weekend for sure if he is back in town. But so having said that, I did go to his house and record a video and put it together so that way he's at least with us in spirit tonight. So, first and foremost, my name is Mike. I am one of the co-hosts for this stream slash podcast. We'll go in greater detail about my history and everything after we introduce everybody and we introduce our president. So I will pass it off to Corey. Oh,
I keep
Corey, you are muted.
growing pains.
I knew that.
Yes.
I really
There we
did.
go.
Let's try that again. Good evening, all of the internet. Growing pains. We're still learning. Just a quick hellos.
Yeah, quick hello.
Um,
We'll get
as
into
you
the
guys can
nitty
see,
gritty of you.
all right. We're
All
still
right.
learning chemistry, folks. We really are.
Yes.
Promise
Yes, we
we
are.
are.
All right.
As you guys can see, I'm a firefighter. It's a volunteer, so all the paid guys, calm down. I promise. um, looking forward to where this adventure takes us.
Sure. All right. Max, you want to say a few quick words before we start?
Yeah. Hey, everybody. Go by Max online, a lot of places. Kind of like these guys. Started, vet long time ago and full-time firefighter for a while there, and kind of floated around from here and there. We'll get the rest of it later.
Yep. All right. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna hide the chat so the video isn't blocked. I want to stress two important things about this video, so be gentle with it. First and foremost, the quality of it is not that great because again, it's something brand new that I've had to figure out in a very short time frame. So it's not the best. But I am a little proud of it. I think it looks good, and really, what's important is that the message is what's important when you release a video like this. Um, and secondly, no, our president is not blinking Morse code for help. He powered through skipping lunch to record this video, so he was trying so hard to accomplish it. So um, don't hold that against him. But having said that, I am going to mute my mic and I will play this video. Let me know if the volume is a little low and I can increase it a little bit. I just don't want to blow anyone's ears out with it. So just let me know if the volume is good as it starts, okay?
Hi, I'm Chris Ward. I'm a Coast Guard veteran, served from 2002 to just before 2010, um, and did a couple of deployments. Some of those
I have
being
zero audio.
Operation
Well, never
Alleviate
mind.
Freedom. I
Ignore
am
that.
the president and co-founder of Roll2Heal. So Roll2Heal is a nonprofit servicing veterans, first responders, and healthcare professionals to strengthen our community, build camaraderie, and alleviate everyday stressors, including those that are from PTSD stress. We're doing that through tabletop role-playing games as that medium to help with those factors. And we have multiple peer-reviewed studies that show the benefits behind why those work. Roll2Heal's origins stem from a personal experience. I was going through some of my own PTSD at the time, and a good friend of mine that served with prior as well saw that I was going through it and invited me to come sit at one of his tables on a weekend. And so I just asked him, "Well, what do you mean by that?" He said, "Well, I'm playing a tabletop role-playing game called Dungeons and Dragons." I'd played Dungeons and Dragons when I was a kid, but okay, well, I guess I'll go check it out. So I went and sat at his table and really enjoyed it. There was 3 veterans and 2 civilians that were playing at the game. And about a year and a half into it, the 3 of us veterans would get together quite a bit earlier on before the game would start, the campaigns would start, and just talk about, service deployments and the VA and things that we were dealing with at home. And in one of those meetings, we showed up early, and the one of our veteran friends showed up and said, I want to let you guys know the only reason I pulled the trigger over the weekend is because I want to know what we're going to do in our next session. So luckily, the friend that invited me to the table had quite a bit of experience in helping people in those situations, and had done some training while he's in the military as well. Was able to find that person some help. But with that said, we started digging into it a little bit more of why did that make such a big difference? And from the questions that I had asked that person individually, the response back was that he felt that he was going to let us down. So there's almost a purpose that was built there behind why he wanted to show up and why he wanted to play. He felt like he was going to leave us down. We were going to have to find somebody else to replace him. It was going to interrupt the game. It was impacting more people than just him. So after that, I started doing a lot more research. Went to the libraries, picked out a bunch of different peer-reviewed studies, and was able to find quite a few that related to not just PTSD, but stress relief, social anxiety, and autism as well. And really started digging into them. Back then, about 3 years ago, when I first started really looking into it, there's only about 2 or 3, maybe 4 studies that I could find that actually had some good detail in it. Now there's closer to 30 of those. But really that was the origin of why we started, was that story of the person coming to us and saying, hey, this really helped me through it, and my own personal experiences of when I go to the games, I just feel better. And then also diving into those peer-reviewed studies showed so much benefit behind it, and you can find those peer-reviewed studies on our website. So some of the things that Roll2Heal wants to accomplish in the next few years, and even a couple of months coming up, we have some pretty ambitious goals of wanting to reach every major metropolitan area by July of 2026. And then we also have some goals of trying to reach more of those rural locations too, across the country in every county if possible by 2032. That is a very ambitious goal, but we're already seeing quite a bit of success there, and moving towards them. We also want to invite you to come, discuss with us if you have any questions. Definitely feel free to reach out. And thank you very much for watching our video and learning about who and what Roll2Heal is.
All right. So that is a message from Chris Ward, our president. That video will be available on our YouTube channel here probably within the next hour or so. I scheduled it to kind of to release mid to end time that we're gonna stop the stream today. So if you want to rewatch it, by all means, you are more than welcome to. And like I said before, be a little gentle on the critique of the qualityness. We do plan to reshoot it later when he's got some food in him and he's not blinking as much, and we'll make sure the quality of it is better for sure. But to one's Bane's point, helping each other out, yes, that is a big part of why we are doing this. What did you guys think of that video?
Go ahead, Max.
Just from, I mean, I know we kind of have an inside eye, right? Like we've all been in the Discord and been able to hang out with the community, interact with each other, and it's not just something that Chris believes in. It's something that a lot of us have absolutely joined, and we are all in on the paint on this as far as doing community building, kind of for the people that have kind of lost social networks that they've had, you know, rebuilding those, building those friendships up at the table, doing those health and kind of spot checks on each other. Like, hey man, I know it's been like, for me, it was a rough holiday season. So when we met up this last Friday, players were like, hey dude, how are you doing? Like, I know you talked about it being stressful and all this, like, are you good? You need anything? It's everybody. Yeah. Everybody's on the same page, man.
Absolutely. Corey?
So my take on it is I love the fact that we get him saying it. I have tried to, I loosely make the statement, tell his story to people that ask me about Roll2Heal, because we all have our own version of that story, but none of us can say his story with conviction. So this is what kicked it all off. So I love the fact that we have it out there.
Yeah. I'm in the same boat as you with that, Corey, because I try and it just doesn't sound right when I say it, when I'm like, oh, our president has this amazing story about when he started playing D&D again, and he had a group of 3 vets, and it doesn't sound right when you're saying it. Like, having your own stories to tell, I think, are impactful. And I think that's a good thing, and getting those stories out there too can have a lot of weight, and they can resonate with people on a level that they don't even realize it until they actually hear it and they start thinking about it. Just like Rolling for Vets says in the chat, he's like, this last year, struggling himself, and he got back into gaming, and he says it's been great. Like, that's a fantastic thing. And then
Absolutely.
MSN Gaming says the lack of social groups and connections is critical, and trying to revitalize organizations like the VFW is not the answer. Free younger vets want to hang out in the VFW, drink and smoke on the same bar stool forever like past generations might have. New ways forward are necessary. You are 100% correct in that. That's one of the big things that we stress is like the commonalities of diving into things that cope with the issues that they're dealing with have had such negative impacts on people's lives, and being able to use something like this to make it positive and build those connections is huge.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I mean, feel free if you guys want to add on to that if you want, but that's a big part of. And what's funny is me and Chris have both spoken to several of the VFWs within the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and they're trying to figure out ways to bring in the younger vets and try and move away from the drinking and the smoking. And we're talking to them about potentially doing some sort of collaboration where they open their spaces to Roll to Heal and let us, host games in their spaces. And they haven't said no yet. Obviously, there's a lot more talking that needs to go into it. But if we could make that happen, that would be fantastic. But not the only avenue we're looking at, for sure.
Yeah. No, I mean, and it's definitely more than just like a couple VFWs that have that, like you said, that kind of cliquish mentality where it's if, for example, my dad is where he lives, the local VFW there is, you're not one of the in crowd if you're not part of the Vietnam era boys. So you get some of that where it's the generational gaps in service and they kind of all do their thing. The other generation does their thing. So yeah, it'd be good, like MSN said, to get in there and kind of quote unquote break it up, right? Kind of break up the clique and kind of bring people back together as a whole.
Well, I was going to say, I don't even see that as breaking up the clique, as I see it as, look at our three beautiful, ugly mugs. There is a vast difference on when we did what we did in the military. And we all have our own story, but yet we are all here to sit at a table.
Yep.
And I went to that dinner this evening and I had a vet. She is, we'll call it 25, come up to me asking me questions. That's why I cut the thin wire to this evening. And I had also been pulled aside by folks from my father's generation. Explain this, Corey. I know what D&D is. What are you doing? So it's almost a bridge the gap.
Absolutely.
In my perspective.
Yeah.
Absolutely. MSN thinks the model of VFW and other organizations is also a turnoff. I don't want to spend my time in a board meeting deciding if we can spend $38 on new floor mats or who should be the social coordinator next year. Leaner approaches are needed. Yes. Cut through all the red tape, get everything streamlined, make it easy to access. That is probably one of our biggest focuses at Roll to Heal. We want to make sure that, if someone comes to a table, they don't even need to bring this is obviously long-term goal. We want this to happen regardless. But we want someone who's never played a game before in their life to be able to come to the table and just bring themselves. All the supplies will be provided for them.
One of the players at my table, first game he got into was the one that we set up.
Nice.
And he's learning quick, and I think he's going to be dangerous given some time.
That's how they work. So I'm happy to keep interacting with y'all. I would like us to get y'all to know us, so you know our background, where we're coming from, a little history about us, and go into why we are here doing what we're doing. I feel like that's important, and that will give you guys some insight into what our train of thought is for this entire podcast. So, I will start. My name is Michael Conway. I am the vice president and one of the co-founders of Roll to Heal. I joined the Coast Guard back in 2005, and I recently retired after 20 years in 2025. I was a culinary specialist, so I cooked all the food for every unit I was at, and I have almost 13 years of sea time, which I know the Navy likes to give crap for the Coast Guard not being a sea service, but I've got 13 years that say otherwise. So, and you're not going to hurt my feelings if you call me a puddle pirate. I got a patch that shows that I'm proud of that. Having said that, I've known Chris for the better part of 15 years, and I met him through one of our moderators, Mage. I joined a gaming community, an online gaming community called Silent Warriors, to play an MMO called Rift, and played countless nights every week with these guys. Got to know them really well. Got to know about their personal lives, their families. They got to know mine. Constantly asking how we were doing. And then back in December of 24, Mage shoots me a text and asks me if I had some free time to talk to Chris. And I was like, yeah, sure. I didn't know what was going on at the time, but he basically, me and Chris met, and he told me the same story y'all just heard in the video, and I didn't even hesitate. I was 110% in at that point. And, I said, Chris, I've got two questions for you. What do you need from me? And when are we starting? And that pretty much sucked me in immediately down this rabbit hole of helping Chris get to the level and get to the point we're at now, while trying to challenge him a little bit on some of his overzealous and ambitious goals. Because the good funny story that happened July of 25 is we're wrapping up a gaming session, and we meet after our gaming sessions to kind of talk about Roll to Heal and what we're going to do. And he goes, I want to be nationwide by next year. And I'm just like, Chris, that's a bit ambitious. And we laugh about it now, and there's actually a meme somewhere of that with Star Wars with Anakin and Padme, that meme. But needless to say, he technically meet that goal, because as you'll see a little later, we've got chapters in Washington, we've got some up in New York, we got them in Texas, we got them in Oregon, or not Oregon, we're gonna have one in Oregon soon, hopefully. But Ohio, Tennessee, all over already. So I was like, well, he proved me wrong. And I always tell Chris, he's like, hey, I don't mind being proven wrong. It just makes it all the better. So yeah, that all happened. One of the big reasons why I'm here is I believe to my core that Roll to Heal will reach that deep void that is so obvious within our communities. And I believe full-heartedly that what we're doing and what we're championing will indeed make a big difference. Like Chris told me once that, if he can recreate what happened to him 40 or 50 years down the road for just one person, it will have all been worth it. And that's 100% accurate. Obviously, we want it to be a lot more than 40 or 50 years, but just that right there, that feeling of hope and care is very deep. So I resonate very well with this cause, and I think that we're going to do great things, and I want you all to be with us for this journey. Having said that, I will pass it off to Corey or Max, who wants to go next.
There you go, Corey. Little standoff here. Okay. All right, everybody.
Pick one of you.
Max again. Just kind of a background on me is 6 years Army Reserve vet, 1 year overseas. Got out, did my time, went to college, graduated there, ended up joining up with the fire department right before COVID happened. So got some of the good experience before we got just worked to death. Spent 4 years there, had a couple bad experiences and basically had to bounce. But basically from my time after college, so like 2014, I had an online D&D group that I had been running ever since. So we went 11, 12 years as a group. And then end of 24 happened. And within 4 months, my life was utter chaos. We had my dog that saved me basically from being severely depressed, being an alcoholic, and all sorts of other terrible things because my life was not going how I wanted it to. Passed away after 17 years, and it brought a lot of really dark feelings back. Shortly after that, our house got broken into. So the safety of home was just ripped out from under, myself, my wife, our kids. And then probably another month or two after that, we lost our second dog. And then another month or two after that, our house got hit by lightning. So the end of 24 going into the first 6 months of 2025 literally felt like I could not breathe. And I basically had to tell the group that I made like really good friends with, like I've known the people now for over a decade. Like we still talk in our private Discord group, still do check-ins on each other. Basically told them like, look, I love you guys. I would love to keep doing this. I just don't have the headspace for this. There's too much going on. I've got to, concentrate on being there, being the rock for my family so that we can get through this. And basically I gave everything up, quit playing, and just didn't feel the need to get back into it. Didn't really want to get back into it. And then I started seeing things for Roll2Heal pop up, and I started looking into it. I was like, I got to do something. I got to get back into this. And if I'm going to do that, then I want to do it with a group of people that were from communities that I held very near and dear to me. So veterans, I was a first responder myself. I married into the healthcare system. So when I saw that, I was immediately all on board because I've like unicorn probably in the group that I fit in all three. I've seen kind of what that lifestyle can do to people. Like at the fire department that I worked at, we had a captain that went through rehab. I had a preceptor that didn't come out on the other side. So I was pretty close, pretty heavily exposed to this stuff. And when I heard and saw what Roll2Heal was, I was like, no, that's it. I'm all in, and jumped in late last May. I've been kicking around ever since and started building with some of the guys here in Ohio, started working on building our chapter, doing the footwork for that, getting that up and rolling. And now we've got my table going. We've got his table going here pretty soon. And it's growing quick. It's like a little bit of a spark, and then it boom, just into a flame.
Absolutely. Thank you for sharing, Max. Corey?
So the why I'm here, that one was a complete random happenstance. I was actually not real big, but pretty big into Warhammer. And Memorial Day weekend just didn't settle this last 2025. Just wasn't settling right for me. I needed to do something. And on Memorial Day weekend, you are not going to go find a random game of anything anywhere. Everybody's out doing their holiday stuff. And lo and behold, I haven't been on Facebook by almost a decade at that point. And boom, I was looking. I needed to go do something, and Roll2Heal popped up. And I start doing my homework, and I think I had all the applications filled out by Tuesday evening.
Nice.
Like you said, Max, it sang to me. To start out with the long history, made the dumb decision, dropped out of high school at 19, joined the Marine Corps. One of the few people that could get away with that in the 90s. We've all made dumb mistakes. I did 4 years as aviation ordnance. When my big gut into me was September 11th happened. I'm stationed in Philadelphia. We flew over. We got told turn around to go home. That was all heart-wrenching and all that good jazz. But we it comes time for re-enlistment in November, and my CO pulls me aside. I've got all the signatures, I've got all of everything, and he pulls me aside and he's like, "So there, Slack, do you really want to sign this?" Well, yes, sir. We're gonna go handle business. At the time, I was attached to a reserve unit. I got real used to getting higher ranking reservists out of our way so we could go do the job. And he asked me, am I going to be able to go have the appropriate, proper conversations with those that outrank me? And I stopped and I thought about it for a second. I was like, sir, you are 100% correct. So there I stood at the end of the flight line about 6 days after my discharge and watched my unit leave. That beat the snot out of me hard. Fast forward a few years, bad marriage, all that good jazz. We've all heard of that. And I move back home to the Buffalo area and join the fire department that I essentially grew up in. And I've been a volunteer. What did we do the math today? 18 years between two different fire departments. Recently picked up the EMS. So, Max, I completely understand how that all of this is it all rolls into one package because seeing the stressors from some of my guys that I've kept in contact with that did go and came home to the stressors I've seen in bad fire calls, bad EMS calls, it's a lot there. Every time I hit one of my darker spots, one of my younger firefighters, this is actually the girl I mentioned earlier. She actually joined the Navy, became a corpsman. I was the first person she called when she got her Marine Corps greens. If any of you know that, if anybody that aren't familiar with the Navy and the Marine Corps, the Navy does all our medical, up to and including the field medic stuff. For you to get your Marine Corps greens as a corpsman is a hell of a feat. And she actually this evening we spoke about Roll2Heal and she's getting ready to come. So I told her, I'm here. Do you still have my phone number from before you left? No, I don't. I need it. I snatched her phone out of her hand and called myself right then and there. I'm here to help. We're not going to do this alone. We collectively, for too long have ignored what can happen and what goes wrong, and we've put it to the back burner. I'm not saying we need to shove mental health down everybody's throat, but it is high time that it's acknowledged and something done about it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. We got to shift the paradigm too. I mean, and I don't know if the culture was the same when you were in, but like if you mentioned mental health as a Marine, soldier, airman, whatever, back when I was in, you were broken, damaged goods, and on your way you went.
Oh yes, absolutely. Hell, here in the fire service, if you mentioned it 5 years ago,
Yeah.
Here, we'll let you talk to somebody.
We'll send you to the chaplain and good luck.
Just like Rolling said, we need to break the stigma. That is 100%
Absolutely.
accurate. It is a very real thing that a lot of people will brush off and say it's not really a thing. No, it is. My own personal experiences. I've been struggling with things that I didn't realize, and it wasn't until we started Roll2Heal and I was with my group and we were playing, and they were noticing things that I was doing, and they were like, "You okay? You should really go talk to somebody." And I was standoffish, and I denied it, of course, at first, but then I went to start. I started like thinking about it, and then I went and talked to somebody, and started learning things that about myself that not necessarily normal to have or react certain ways when something happens. And it's opened my eyes to how things are perceived and how, as a human being, you change, you numb yourself to that idea that this is normal and it's acceptable. Rolling says, I left the service back in 2011 and I've tried to kill myself multiple times and I kept it hidden from my family. And every 4 years, it wasn't till the last year when I finally opened up and let people know my struggle. Was always afraid of being locked away. Yes, that's huge. Like, since I started talking to somebody about my own personal problems, um, I've been talking to my wife more, and things that I thought that I told her about, she's like, "You never told me about that," and I was like, "I could have sworn I did, but no, I just locked them away." So it definitely makes things uh, the stigma makes things hard for sure,
It
because
does.
in ourselves we deny it. I know someone who just became a really good friend of mine through a class who, when he was diagnosed with PTSD, he literally told me that he argued with the therapist about it. He was like, "I don't have it." Just straight up denied that he had it. But
And that probably again comes from that whole stigma of like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
I'm non-com. I didn't say anything. I don't have, I don't have a reason to have these reactions.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's wild. Yeah, Rolling, I would love to hear your whole story at some point. Like, that's what we want to do. We want to tell these stories. We want to raise awareness and we want to
We
break
want to,
the cycle.
right. And yeah, that right there, right. Being there to lift a brother in arms or sister in arms, or whether they're, healthcare worker or first responder, just to lift them out of that darkness, because many of us know what it's like already.
Yep, 100%.
kind of figured.
Yeah, I pieced it together, but for those who don't know, he has a website called Shirts for Vets, and he does a lot of great work for veterans. So um, definitely, check him out. Like, he's been fantastic. I haven't had a chance to talk to you personally, but Chris said that you were a fantastic conversation, and he wants to talk to you more.
I swear Chris could talk to anybody.
Oh, he loves talking. um, that's fantastic. So I want to move on a little bit. I want to explain what we're going to do at Roll to Heal Table Talk and kind of go over our schedule and what our goals are. Yeah, that's fair. So Roll to Heal Table Talk is going to essentially, we're going to find topics that talk about the benefits of tabletop role playing games and how they can help with mental health and the benefits of it and growing communities and things like that. Like, if you remember in the video that had Chris talking, he said when he first started, he could only find 3 peer review studies. And in the span of 3 years, it grew to 30. And in my opinion, that's still very low. So, by raising awareness to these things, none, none, all three of us we don't have any expertise in therapy or mental health or anything like that. We're just three regular individuals who want to raise awareness on these things. But that's how the spark starts, right? The more people talk about it, the more people take an interest, and then obviously the more people will start doing the research, the people who are actually experts in those fields. So our goal is to find topics, find people who are doing this research and these articles and things like that. We want to bring them on the show, talk to them, pick their brains, ask them questions. You know, they could bring topics for us to discuss, and then if we don't have a guest, we're going to find our own topics and we're going to discuss them. We're going to ask our own questions, and if and we'll make sure that we provide links to whatever it is we're discussing. And if you want to be involved in that, you can read ahead of time, and then you can chime in, ask your own questions. Like, the more thought-provoking questions we can put out online, the bigger impact it's going to have, as far as I can tell. You know, we got to do the legwork, and the best way to do it is to start this stream. And I think it'd be unjust if I don't say that one of the big reasons that this podcast even started was because of another stream that did a fundraiser for us on Veterans Day, and that was Frontline Fiction. Those guys raised $1,100 for Roll2Heal on Veterans Day, and it was honestly eye-opening that many people resonated with a cause
already.
Yes, and it needed to happen. So we were like, we need to do this. So we started digging into how we're gonna set it up, what we're gonna accomplish, how often we're going to broadcast, and it quickly, I got a little overzealous at first, and then I pulled it back, and I'm glad I did, because I think that I probably would have burned myself out really quick if I kept the schedule I was thinking. But, you know, then I asked for help, and Corey and Max volunteered to help me get this going, and we've had great conversations so far off screen, and we've we got some great ideas, and we can't wait to share them. Am I missing anything, guys?
No.
No, you're storming right on through, boss.
Dead on. Yeah.
All right. So, with that, I'm going to... Where did I put that? So I want to minimize this. I'm going to start with our schedule. So, as you can see, I hope you guys can see that.
Yeah.
All right. So, what we're going to do is we're going to do a 4-week rotation. And the idea is that every week, which will take place every Saturday from 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Pacific, we're going to talk about things. This is a great opportunity to raise awareness, bring things to light, maybe even trigger some sort of thought-provoke idea that somebody has, and it sets in motion some sort of research. I can tell you we've already got a pretty good list, and yeah, I see you. I see you rolling.
I personally got a little excited about week 3. But
Yeah,
I'm biased. Biased.
But
Yeah, you're allowed to be. I've sat in on a couple of those. You're allowed to be, sir.
So we're gonna find the topics. We're gonna talk about them. We're gonna bring them up, and we're gonna ask questions. And the concept behind it is that we're all gonna read the topics on our own and generate our own questions without telling the others that we're gonna do what we're gonna ask, because we want to make it a genuine thought of how they're going to answer that question. So we're going to do that. If we have a guest, we're going to have them on. We're going to let them talk about what they do and their cause. And this can be other streamers. This can be professionals in the field. This can be members of our community in Roll to Heal that want to promote things going on in their local areas. It can also be supporters if they want to come on and talk with us. And, we are all for building a community here. That's the whole goal. And
Absolutely.
the bigger our net is, the better. So we're going to do that for weeks 1 and 2. Week 3, game system discussion and GM workshop tips and tricks. This is going to be it's going to be a little different in the fact that we want to try to find ways to utilize it to make it a healthy environment for the games that you run. So there are I haven't been able to find many. There's one. I'm not going to talk about it today because I don't want to spoil it.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, little spoilers.
Yeah,
But
no, we can't be doing that.
I'm hoping to get the creator of this on. I've reached out to him and I hope to hear back from him soon. But it is a fantastic little tool, and I think that we need to have more items like this. I don't know if Frontline Fiction has a podcast or not.
They do stream on Twitch, though, I believe. They do.
Yes.
There's a couple games I think they stream. I know they're doing, I think it's a Blade Runner, or at least he's part of a Blade Runner campaign right now.
Oh, there he is. They do have a
Hey,
podcast.
it's
Welcome.
Beetlejuice. You say his name too many times and he just pops up.
Well, fantastic. I'm glad you could join us. So that's our week 3. And the systems are we're trying to expand the library of potential games you can have, because one important thing that Chris likes to stress is a game that has character development. So we're going to find those games and we're going to present them. We're going to talk about them and the things that we like, the things we don't like, what we might potentially change in the system if we feel like it needs a change. And if we have expert DMs who want to come on and present things like that, or give a tips and tricks session live on our stream, I am all for that, because again, you can't run games without DMs, and this is just as important.
And little DM secret, it's a lot easier than you think it is.
Yes. So if you have
says that
concerns, so if you have concerns about ever running a game, it would be good to join that. And we also have one on our Discord that takes place once a month.
Yep.
I don't know when the next one is. I think I could look that up real quick.
Which one of the co-hosts for that as well, and we just wrapped up a intro into campaign building. We're still kind of locking down next month's topic as far as what specifics we're going to do, and then we'll announce basically the time. Yeah, first Wednesday of every month, but we'll announce the topic here soon.
Yep. Yeah, they got it scheduled for February 11th. Is that the first Wednesday of February?
No.
Nope.
We'll find out here in a second.
It is not.
Should be the 4th. Yeah.
I wonder if there's a oopsie there. We'll figure it out.
Might be. It might be. We'll get it fixed.
All right, and then moving on to week 4, we're gonna do a one-shot demonstration. We're gonna have people come on. It's not necessarily going to be run by me or any of us, but if someone wants to run a one-shot for Roll to Heal, this would be a great opportunity to come on and do that. And I think it would be a great way, and it obviously be another way to build community. That's the main goal of this stream / podcast. We want to build that community. And if we can work it if we talk about a system in week 3, or we talk about tips and tricks in week 3, and we can somehow incorporate them into the one shot, that's even better. So that way we can show the talk and the action of that. So that's kind of our mindset with the schedule, and we will rinse and repeat that every Saturday. Skin fighter.
It brings back Gnome Warriors from like WoW days vibe.
What was it? The Three Musketeers?
Yeah,
That old cartoon?
Yeah.
3 kobolds in a trench coat.
Yeah, but they're usually just stacked on top of each other.
Well, yeah, that's fair.
So, yeah. That is our schedule. Anything you guys would like to add to this? By all means, chime in at any time.
On a personal note, one of the things, as you guys all saw me and Max giggle, I'm wanting to try to jump into the DM realm. And one of the reasons I asked to be part of the broadcast was these guys have done it. Oh, I remember back when, here's the cheat for that. That's all well and good. And when you guys see me on the DM nights going, this is what I did and it didn't work. So you get the fresh perspective of watching someone learn from what I'm seeing is a great community. These guys are any DM questions.
It's
if you don't ask it, you're going to lose out.
Yeah, I mean the community as whole is very welcoming, very friendly, and willing to dispense any amount of knowledge that you ask for and, mentor and teach you, which is another reason why I jumped on the bandwagon for that project as well. I was like, that's something I got to be part of. Because like I said, it when you're on the other side of the screen and you're looking as a player and you're like, I want to do something, but I get it. It's intimidating, but it's a lot easier than you think. It's just learning little tips and tricks here and there and finding your way, right? It's an art style, learning your art style and then just building on it.
Shadow Dark. I don't think I've ever played Shadow Dark.
Yeah, I can't say I have either.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty good explanation. It's all about baby steps and finding your specific niche on how you want to run games. I mean I haven't run a ton of games. I think I've only run like 7 altogether. I'm in the process of working on one that is definitely taking a toll on my mind because I'm doing a murder mystery game, and there's a lot of like intricacies and puzzles and things like that I have to build, and like it's a lot of details, and I just want to make sure that I'm doing it right. Like, I was helping my mom do a garage sale yesterday, and my sister was selling a cipher. Like, I got it right here actually.
Yeah, and murder mystery itself is a very unique take on a lot of different genres and themes.
Yeah. So I was helping her, and my sister was selling this cipher, and I was like, this
Oh,
thing would
nice.
be really cool to use in
As a prop.
the game as a prop. So I gotta figure out how I'm gonna do that. But yeah, I saw that thing. I was like, I've got to take this. I'm sorry.
I mean, Chris has already started me on that track too. He's been showing some of the stuff that he just shows up at his tables and drops it on there and leaves it for people to look at. And I'm like, all right, there's a couple things I got to get.
He is a all-in guy. All right.
Yeah.
We start. Okay, so DFW Mesquite is currently running the Out of the Abyss campaign module, and he's putting his own little flair on it, obviously. But he took on the challenge of doing the thing that most DMs won't do, and he let all the NPCs live, and we had them all going for I want to say 5 sessions, and none of them were dying because he was treating them like players. And I eventually said, Chris, we're gonna have to kill off these NPCs because it's getting exhausting just playing the game with them. Like, and I'm just a player. He's running it, and he got to a point where he was giving us the NPC sheets and says, "Here, you run two, you run two, you run two," and even that was exhausting for all the players. So I was like,
Oh, yeah.
I got a simple rule we can implement. The moment the NPC hits 0, they die. There's no death saves, none of that. They're just gone. Like that. Like, let's get them out of there and let's move on because it was getting exhausting for everybody. Surprisingly, we still have like 6 of them.
Majority of them.
Well, like you start with like 12, so there's a ton of them, and you're just like, oh, this is going on too much. But yeah, it was crazy. But he'll go all in too. He's got like the Dwarven Forge stuff, and he's got a lot of it. He's got all the little Out of the Abyss minis from the mini boxes that you could get. He's all
I'm
about
working on it. I'm working on it. I'm slowly ramping up production, and the 3D printer does not rest for long.
Yeah, it's almost most justification to buy a second one, right?
Almost. Get a bigger one so I can start doing terrain.
Oh, jeez. I hear FDMs are better for terrain.
Yeah, usually.
All right. Yeah, so schedule. Cool. Got a little off topic, but that's okay.
Yeah.
What else did we want to talk about? I'm trying to remember. Oh, chapters. So Corey was kind enough to make us a little pin chart to show us where all of our chapters are. So when I said
That was the first attempt.
oh, it looks good.
It's a solid first attempt.
It is a solid first attempt. So, when Chris was, talking about his goal to be nationwide by the end of the year, this is what the end of the year looked like for us. So as you can
Yeah,
see,
I think he did it.
we're nationwide. Obviously there's some spots that we could put some chapters for sure, but you know what? This is a great start for a organization that has
That's-
only been around for a year.
They say barely.
Barely a year.
Yeah.
You're not wrong. We technically went live April. So yeah.
That's huge progress.
Yes.
Yeah, that's crazy. Trust me, I wish I had this map this evening at the dinner I was at. What do you mean you're nationwide in a year? I built the map.
pretty dang close to it.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
we got a couple big holes, but
Mm-hmm.
no, we're doing great for a year.
I cannot wait to see what this map looks like at the end of this year. I think it would be fantastic.
I think it will be interesting to go back and look at it at like 6-month intervals. So 6 months in, year 18, 24, and just see how parts of it will expand and then other parts will just get more higher concentration.
Sure. I think we can make that happen.
Just to join, and then there's a couple documents that we have y'all fill out, especially if you jump into the deep end and want to host games for your chapter.
Yeah. So, the basic requirements is that we have paperwork that we require all of our members to sign. They're basically to protect yourself and to protect Roll2Heal. But they're all there's nothing crazy about them. There's no loopholes or gotchas.
No.
We're not trying to
Mhm.
we're not trying to trick anyone here. That's not the goal. One of the big things that people might be hesitant about is giving up any personal information. And one of the things I want to stress right now is there's only 3 people who can see that information, and I'm one of them. Chris is the second, and then Mage is the third. We're the only three people who can see any of that information. The reason why we're asking for that information is because, say you're proactive at a table, right? And suddenly you disappear and you don't answer your phone, nothing like that. If we have your address, Chris has said, and he said this multiple times, and I 100% believe him. So be cautious of this. If you don't answer your phone and he comes to your house, he will kick in your door to make sure that you're all right. That's how much he cares. He'd rather pay for the repairing your door than finding out that we lost somebody. And that's
I'm
a big
okay
thing.
with that whole statement.
And the kind of funnier part about that is too is like as we have grown, I also get the feeling that there are others that knowing, oh hey, I'm only a couple hours away from so and so. We need to go do a wellness check. All right, yeah.
Absolutely.
Which again, it's growing.
in.
It's growing that network. It's growing the culture. That's what we're here for.
Absolutely. So, yes, we do. We do have battle buddies for a reason.
Yep.
So, back to your question, Bane. The paperwork, you fill out the paperwork for the chapter agreement and the NDA and the GM agreement. Even if you're not going to do it, you could fill out the GM agreement even if you're not going to run a game yourself right away. But doing all of that, and then we will get you like a door kick. Yeah. But we will help you. One thing that we are currently working on, this is one of our short-term goals, is we're putting together a chapter development package, like a step-by-step how to get a chapter running. We've got a couple of success chapters, and then we have some that are struggling to make that happen. And we're working to make a streamlined process that makes it simpler for somebody to start a chapter. But what the big things are those forms, and then you also want to make sure you do the VA save training. That's a big proponent to Roll to Heal, because we want our GMs to be able to identify when somebody is potentially having a issue, so that way they can either course correct their game or they can intervene and take a pause. Like that's a big thing that some people might not really think about until it's too late. And this allows people to have a knowledgeable, proactive stance when they're running their games. That awareness can be the difference between a good game and a bad game.
Oh, absolutely. Mike, one of the other things that the three of us discussed and it never made the sheet. Um, just noticing some of the other groups discussing things in the chat. We are not here to overstep anyone or crush anyone. We are here.
Support.
Help us help you.
Yeah.
We are not trying to push anyone out of the way. We're not trying to absorb any other organizations. We're here to work with. Just
Absolutely.
in case if any of that thought was out there, but I know that was one of the things that rung with me with the organization.
Yeah, we're not at all trying to be a conglomerate that says we are the end all be all. We would rather connect and work with other organizations, because we all have the same, at the end of all of this, we all have the same goal. It's to raise awareness and build that community, and that's big over anything else. I don't like, even Chris will say this. He's like, we don't care if we're number one in that field when it comes to those organizations. What we're just trying to build that community and strengthen the camaraderie.
I was going to say I'd rather the culture and community stand on its own.
Exactly.
And speak for itself.
Sorry, I'm trying to read some of the chat, make sure I'm not missing anything.
guilty of it too.
Actually, I was just texting my wife to see if she can bring up the deck of cards.
Oh. No, we gotta
I was
I
saying-
save
forgot to
that.
grab them.
We gotta
I
save
forgot to
it.
grab them on my way up.
Don't
when
worry.
you-
Well,
yeah.
I didn't want to just holler down the stairs in the middle of a podcast. Oh, save that.
Yeah,
Never
save
mind.
it. Yeah, Frontline, I might have to get with you because someone was asking if we could put this on Apple Podcasts, and I am struggling to figure out how to set that up. I tried, and it was like, you can't make an account right now. So I was like, cool, thanks.
Yeah, and give kind of like what we said at the start, growing pains, give us time to learn it. It'll with time, stuff will start improving. You'll see.
Absolutely. Okay. So does anyone have any questions for us before we wrap things up? I know that this one's kind of short. They will be a little longer when we actually do our real stuff, but I wanted to really hammer home introducing ourselves, let you guys understand who we are, get a feel for what our goals are. So I don't want to drag it out just to drag it out. I want to keep it as it is. And of course, if anyone has any
Absolutely,
critiques
guys.
that they would like to give to us, you can talk to us on Discord. We're pretty active on there, and I will receive any critiques that you want to throw my way.
Oh, absolutely. Gotta grow.
I appreciate that, Rolling. Thank you. War Dog, thank you. Oh wait, that's you, Max.
Yeah, it's me.
Try not to type Max talk.
Well, when one of you's talking, I'll type and chime in there occasionally. But yeah, I mean, I'm that kind of person that you come ask me for help, I'm gonna help you. It's when we've had a couple of our GM workshops already. Corey's already said that once he decides to set stuff up, that him and I are gonna have some brain picking sessions. So
Oh, I'm gonna pick. I have no shame when it comes to something like that. Go to the expert.
and I'm the same way. I love helping people, so I'm here for it.
So you're gonna ask a lot of questions on week 3, right, Corey?
Oh, yes.
I hope so.
Yes.
Fantastic. I love it. Yeah,
Well,
and
my philosophy. I'm sorry.
no, go ahead, Corey. You go ahead.
My philosophy on it is if I'm asking the question, there's a dozen other people that have the same question, and I've been that way for a very long time. And if the only solid guaranteed no to a question is the one that you don't ask.
Absolutely. D20.
Oh, I like that.
Oh, I like it.
Could be trouble. Hopefully you
Can
roll
I get
more
a
than
copy
ones.
of that? Fantastic.
Cool.
All right.
I'm excited,
anything-
man.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm
I'm
looking
excited.
forward to this. Anything else you guys would like to pass?
Last chance.
Going once? Going twice? All right. No, it does
No.
not.
So I know we have some other tables out there that do have civvies, so people that don't fit into the one of the 3 categories, but like the big 3 that we kind of focus on being vets, first responders, healthcare. Like my table is split down the line. 2 are vets, 2 are healthcare.
So another thing that a lot of people don't realize is that your family is just as important as you. They are your support. They are your rock. So if they want to come and support you and participate alongside you, that is just as impactful as you going to a game by yourself. Now, obviously, if you don't want your significant other to come, that's your choice, but we're not going to turn them away.
Yeah.
I know at our table, one of our guys has his wife join us and play. And I mean,
Heck
like,
yeah.
it's a lot. It's huge because, I mean, if you guys don't mind, I will tell this story because this is actually a
No,
good
go for
story. So when we went to FateCon in Fort Worth this past September, the host of FateCon she's a fantastic person, and she gave us a opportunity to speak on a panel for an hour, and this couple was in the audience, and one of the things that um, happened was his wife raised her hand and asked a question. What do you tell somebody who continuously keeps working, and even if they're hurt or sick, how do you tell them that they need to stop doing that? And that resonated personally with me on so many levels. And one of the big things that resonated with me about that is about 5 years ago, my daughter was 5. I was working myself like dead tired every day. Wake up to sundown, go to bed, get up, wake up, do the same thing. And um, there was a moment where my daughter actually thought that I didn't love her because I chose work over her. So when she asked that question, I I immediately looked at him because I knew it was about him. He was sitting right next to her, and it was very obvious. So I asked him his name. He told me his name, and I looked him dead in the eyes and I said, "No one is going to be able to tell you when you're going to be able to fix this. It's just going to click one day, and it can come. And the catalyst for that click could be your wife. It may be your kid in the future, but someday you'll realize that it's just a job. Don't kill yourself for that job." And
Yep.
I could tell that it I could tell that it hit him hard. So after we got done with the panel, I um, I immediately got off the stage and went right to him, and I shook his hand and gave him a hug, and I said, "Man, you're gonna be all right." And we got out of the room and we started talking. We talked for like a good 20 minutes after the fact, and now him and his wife are sitting at the table with us, and his wife is still kind of that caregiver, that person that kind of my little one. But she'll say things, and that's kind of the catalyst that gets him to talk about it and open up and vent. And you could tell that he feels better after he vents about it. It really like alleviates that stress that he was holding on his shoulders. So yeah, I mean, your family is just as important as you. They're the ones that are with you at home. They will help you get through those tough times, and we'll help you get through those tough times too. And that's what it boils down to. We're about building that community, and your family is part of that community.
Oh, absolutely. I know Max will attest. I can't be a tenth of the firefighter or the EMT that I am without my wife. There has been so many cold meals, so many, oh, babe, I'll take her to dance. Yeah, you come home 4 hours later from a car wreck. She's already been home from dance, showered, and in bed. And without my wife, oh my Lord, I would still be a hot mess.
Yep. And then you take a situation like that and compound it where both mom and dad are healthcare providers during COVID.
Oof. No.
Like, yeah, that was one of the kind of defining decisions for me to kind of walk away from all that. And it was,
I have no idea how. Oof. No.
Yeah. You get to a point, like you said, where or Michael saying that, you have to kind of do that introspection and really look at what's more important to you. And I've been that way from a very young age. Is one of the things that I always wanted was not necessarily the a career or a job. To me, it was if it pays the bills and I have some money to go do cool things and have fun, that's all I need. But family has always been huge for me.
Absolutely.
And kids, man, I tell you what, they will absolutely hold a mirror up to you and force you to look at ugly
Ooh.
things.
Ooh, quick, fast, and in a hurry.
Yes, they're very good at that.
They are very good.
Yeah. Yeah, MSN, what you said is very spot on. Like, you can't take care of anyone else unless you take care of yourself. It's just that
I mean,
mindset, They
it's I mean, and
they beat
it's a
it in you.
mantra. Yeah, I mean it's a mantra for, again with the whole firefighter career, right? Is it's they teach you a lot of when you're dealing with certain scenes, it's don't become a patient yourself. Make
Yes.
sure things are safe enough for you to work in the space that you need to work in and take care of others. And that should be expanded on, but also to include self-care. You know, get out of what bad habits you can, develop the good ones you can, and just one foot in front of the other.
Oh, I haven't heard of that. Frontline. The Pit. I'm gonna
My
look into
my
that.
wife has some issues with the pit. She doesn't watch it.
Well, that's also you and I have some issues with Backdraft and
Right.
Ladder 46 and
What's that one on TV, the 911, that is so bad about that
Oh
kind of
my
stuff?
god. Yeah, freaking shocking people in asystole.
Yeah. So, Frontline, you you bring up a good point, and we've had this conversation. It's something we might do as a topic of discussion at some point. Is good examples of PTSD and bad examples of PTSD through like movies and shows and things like that. Because I brought up one, and it actually caught both of them off guard when I brought it up. Um, but the movie Wish, I want you to think about that movie
yeah.
and The King, and tell me that that is a bad example of a PTSD survivor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Put a whole new spin on the movie for me that I didn't even see until he said it.
Made me go back and rewatch it.
But it's right. But I'm right, aren't I? It
You are.
throws you
Oh,
for a loop.
100%.
But yeah, I would love to do a segment where we talk about good examples, because I know of a good example. I won't say this one, but like I watched this and I wasn't expecting it, and I'm not gonna like lie about this. I broke down in tears. Like it hit me hard, and you guys will probably laugh at me and think it's weird that it happened, but like if you've watched it, you'll know. If you haven't watched it, you probably won't understand it, but I'll happily explain
when we get
leading up to that scene.
there.
But yeah, it definitely caught me off guard for sure. But yeah. All right. Any other questions before we wrap up? By all means, speak now. All right, guys. Well, I thank you so much for joining us tonight. Please share with others. Um, let them know what we're trying to do. And next Saturday will be our big start into the topics. And we will go from there. Ah, Chewy, did you just join us?
Aw.
Absolutely. No, we're here for you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. This will I do have it saving. That's all right. I have it saving to my computer, and I'm gonna upload it to YouTube. Oh, that's the other thing. I don't think I mentioned that. There is a YouTube channel. Oh no, I did mention that. But this is essentially a session 0 where we introduce ourselves. But it will be on
Yeah,
YouTube.
pretty much.
And you can watch it all there. I do think it saves it on Twitch for 7 days after the fact, but regardless, I will get it up on YouTube after we end the broadcast. I don't know how long it'll take to process, but it'll be up there at some point in the next few days. But again, I thank you all for joining us, and I hope you all continue to join us in the future on this journey and engage in the conversations we have and be a part of our community. And again, it is set up to save, yeah.
Good call.
But again, join us on Discord if you are not on Discord with us, and we'll interact with you guys whenever we're hanging out in Discord, which is quite frequently.
Someone's always watching.
Oh yeah.
Yes, he is. All right, gentlemen. Thank you for joining me tonight, Corey, Max. Appreciate it. Everyone
Absolutely.
out there. Have a great
I wouldn't
evening.
miss this for the world.
Yeah, have a great evening,
Everyone,
everyone.
thank you.